自己紹介お願いします。
私はマギーと申します。メキシコ系アメリカ人です。9ヶ月日本語を勉強中です。アメリカのカリフォルニア出身です。でも横浜住んでます。9ヶ月住んでます。あと2年住む予定です。よろしくお願いします。
素晴らしい。よろしくお願いします。Wow, excellent, Maggie. Thank you so much. Amazing. Even your confidence is much more than when I met you 5 months ago. That's amazing. Right. Hi, Maggie. Welcome to my YouTube channel. How do you feel? Thank you so much for this second time.
I feel excited. It's so much fun to be back and to explain my progress and how much I've been improving.
Yeah, like I little bit talked before. That's when I did the first recording with you was just right after 10 sessions, and you actually really having already job in Japan, which is a modeling contract you made, and also you actually started making some friends. So, and after 5 months again, which is like already now it's 9 months living in Japan, but you made a lot of progress. So I really impressed. So how do you feel this 9 months in Japan?
I'm super excited. I now teach like about 6 or 7 different dance classes here. I went out and made a bunch of friends. We go out dancing together, and it's been so nice to because I also lost connection on my phone. My phone stopped working, and so I had to go out without the use of my translations, my Google, any of that, and I was still able to talk and ask how to get back home, which train should I use to get back to my station, and was able to find my way back home even with my phone dead. So it was really nice to still have that communication, even if I don't have the technology for it.
Amazing. That's really cool. So I'm sure some people actually already know you because this is second YouTube recording with you, but it's some maybe people don't know you. So can you a little bit talk about yourself, who you are, where you from, and why you're in Japan?
So, my name is Maggie. I am from California. I moved to Japan for more career opportunities and just so I can explore. I've always been, because I'm Mexican as well, I've always been to Mexico and I've been to America and I've never left the country and I've always wanted to explore. And I wanted to pick a country that was not only full of culture, but also full of career opportunities. And I wanted to learn a new language that wasn't in the same realm of English, like Spanish, Portuguese. They're kind of similar in their grammar, not exactly the same words, but the way that the sentences are structured. So I wanted to challenge myself and pick something with a completely different structure. And my choices were between like Korea, Japan. I thought that Mandarin was a little too hard for me to learn. And I ended up picking Japan just because I thought that there was a lot more opportunities for foreigners to work in Japan. So I'm super excited with my choice and I'm so happy I chose it because it's so fun and I've had no bad days so far.
Wow. So far, no bad day. This is crazy. Yeah, I would like to know more about this because some people actually say that going to Japan, lots of culture barrier, a lot of language barrier. Like sometimes like they feel lonely because they know no one really just try to talk or to communicate in Japanese. Or some people just see you as a foreigner, like they get scared and sometimes it's difficult to approach. Some people actually really struggling to really making friends. Also, you actually have a more outgoing. I think you're extrovert maybe, and you actually really easily making friends. So can you tell me about your like how you approach? Can you give me some tips?
One is not to be scared of like eye contact and like being very like facing the person when you're communicating, letting them know that you have their like full attention. Because that's how I made friends at like festivals, is like we can't even hear each other speak. So if there's a lot of music
Mhm.
playing, you just sort of make friends without words. You make friends with your body language. And the only time I like talked to them was like there was like someone crowd surfing. So there was a person over us that fell on us and we had to try to get him off.
Mhm.
And it was just that quick conversation of like, oh, daijoubu desu ka? And like, ah, daijoubu. And then like, tanoshinde. Like, I'm having fun. Like, I'm
Mhm.
okay. And just
Mhm.
like moving on. I've also like, there's a restaurant, very small hole in the wall restaurant that's walking distance from my house that I go to maybe once or twice a month. It's one of my favorite places. I always go there. And I like to cook at home, but if I don't, I'm going to this restaurant or I'm going to 7-Eleven. And now the workers kind of know me and they've like been like, oh, they told me myself that my Japanese is getting better the more I'm there because I'm making more detailed orders. So it's sort of nice
Mhm.
to run into the same people and they're like, oh, Josephus, like they're complimenting that I'm getting better. And I'm just like, ah, arigato. It's the moment that you're noticed and
Mhm.
people around you are noticing. So it's just like not being shy, trying more Japanese, keep working for it, because the more you hold back and the less you talk, the more they hold back and the less they talk. So just be more inviting and try to
Mm.
build those conversations.
Yeah, that's good tips. A lot of people actually afraid of making mistake and then they just don't talk. And also true, they hold them back that they don't talk to them. So it's kind of really silent moment. And some people actually spending time for years to actually having like this breaking the comfort zone to really speak in Japanese. Amazing. So I think it's all about trying, right? Like try not to hesitate to use Japanese. It's try to use, don't actually worry about making mistake, but it's also by making mistake you can really learn by communication. So yeah, Maggie, I'm really impressed that it's how you're really trying this 9 months and you have a really progress in your life in Japan. So tell me about your progress this 9 months. What did you do exactly in Japan?
So we've gone out and we've done a bunch of things. I went to Joy Paula's. It's just like an indoor theme park, and they had like a horror show, and they had like Attack on Titan theme show, and there was like a bunch of rides. That was
Mm.
really fun. I went to go see Team Labs, both Team Labs Tokyo and Team Labs Planet, which was like the beautiful scenery, and it was so nice to walk around. And also asking for pamphlets, still talking to the workers there to like, oh, where is this part on the map? Sort of those kind of conversations. Went to an aquarium, got to see the animals there, an optical illusion museum. Also got some business cards made here in Japan, and my portfolio was made here. Like I said, I made some friends with Latin dancing, so we go out to Latin dance events. I got my scalp cleaned, I've got my hair done, I've gotten a facial, just going out and trying not to stay home every week.
Wow, that's so amazing. It's really active. Study Japanese this 9 months. How do you actually put it in the everyday life, even the busy life? How do you actually really manage learning Japanese?
So one of the good things about the Japanese Language Factory is that my tutor will do voice recordings of herself saying all of these Japanese terms, and I will download those onto my phone. And then when I'm on the train or when I'm like walking through the city and I have my earphones on, I will just listen to her say things, and I'll practice the pronunciation of it just so I can make sure that I'm saying it right, the sentence completely without getting tongue tied. Some certain letters are a little tricky for me, like the R and L sound. So I practice that one a lot. It's usually when I'm just like out and about, I'll have that downloaded. And then if I have time, I'm sitting, I'm done with my chores, I will actually read the sentence structures again and try to make my own sentences when I'm sitting at home. I will try not to go cookie cutter like what has been exactly said. I try to make my own things so I can break apart the sentences and understand how the structure is made.
That's amazing. So, how do you describe in Japan Language Factory from your side? That's like we don't use any grammar textbook. We don't start from kanji learning. We don't even use flashcard zero. But from your, how do you describe?
So fun fact, one, I did take a Spanish class in high school to like, because I wanted an easy A, so I knew Spanish, but I was taking that class, and I already hated the way that the structure of the class was going, and it was like I found myself getting confused. I'm like, why are we focusing on the Spaniard speak instead of the Mexican speak when I'm in California right next to my people? Little things like that. And eventually, when I moved here to Japan and I was learning Japanese, I have a friend who studies Japanese solely on Duolingo, and he has an 1,000-day streak, which means he's been studying every single day for 3 years on Duolingo. And he has that streak. I may have another friend who is actually taking classes here in Japan, taking like Japanese studying classes, going to college and learning how to speak Japanese. So us three went to a restaurant together, and me and the person that was taking Japanese classes for a year were both completely understanding each other and the waiter, and I made the reservation myself, and I only had about 4 months of Japanese Language Factory in me by this time. So I had 4 months. Duolingo had 3 years, and the classes of college had 1 year. I was making the reservation. The classes person was talking, we were talking casually, and the Duolingo person was slowly understanding. He was understanding, but he wasn't creating the sentences as quickly as we were. So it was really fun to notice the differences of me having least amount of studying, but to still keep up with the conversation topic we were on.
Yeah, very interesting. So it's just simply what they're focused on. But Maggie, this actually 9 months, you had so much actually conversation progress. But in the next future, what is going to be your plan for you in Japan?
So my plan is to keep making friends, keep going out exploring. I only have about like 2 more years here. So I want to explore everything. I want to hike Mount Fuji. I want to go to Hokkaido and I want to go to
Yeah.
Okinawa. I want to go explore these places. I want to go to a couple museums. I want to basically explore all of Japan and try to get as I want to go to Tokyo Disney. We already have plans this Halloween to go to Universal Studios because I know they're anime focused here. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that. I just make more friends. I'm connecting through like apps and just see how fluent I can get because if I can get really good conversation wise, when I have kids one day, I would like them to be trilingual because you can always go further in life having more than one language.
Yeah, definitely. So tell me about the advice to the people who is really struggling learning language and this 2024. So what do you think? What is going to be?
I think that the best like advice I can give is to only focus on what you think you need. If you're only going to visit Japan for a week, find out what activities you're going to do. Are you going to go to Tokyo Disney? Or do you need to get a hotel? Are you going to go out to eat at restaurants? And then find out the conversation for those specific locations. What you're going to need to get a hotel, what you're going to need to get these food, so that you can practice it and then use it in real life and actually apply it. Whereas before I found Japan Language Factory, I used a different like Japanese tutoring thing, and it was very from the textbook, and it was very much work language because I said I was coming here for work. So they were giving me a lot of work language, but it was a lot of like office work conversation. Otsukare sama deshita, which is like, enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye. But I'm not an office work person. I'm a performer. I do shows and all that stuff. So everything I learned from that workspace conversations, I didn't apply, and now I don't remember any of them. I don't remember any of that like work term conversations because I don't use them. I talk to kids and I work with children and I'm a teacher. So now when I take these classes and they're so focused on what are you going to do for the rest of the week, and I tell them what I'm going to do, and we go over the sentences I'm probably going to use when I go to a hair salon and I practice all those sentences, and it makes me excited for my class. It makes me excited to learn because I'm like, okay, I have to prepare. And then when you finally get there and you're like, I knew this was going to be said, so I am prepared. I know exactly what I'm going to say. And it's so fun to see the excitement on the local spaces to see a foreigner like working through a sentence and saying it right, and they like get excited too. It's really fun.
Yeah, that's definitely the key. The brain really works like this. When you don't use it, of course, you're going to start forgetting. And when you don't like it, something, your brain is shutting down like, oh, I don't like these things. But if you like it, oh, I like talking about this, you have more focus because you like it. And then you're going to use it, even like it's more positive cycle. You like it, you use it. And again, like you like it, you use it every day. And as you have like a naturally building a muscle memory to be able to speak something more fluently. All right, so please actually check the Maggie Instagram. I put it in the social media here and the description. And Maggie, thank you so much. And also congratulations on your completion of level 1 in the master course.
Thank you. ありがとうございます。
おめでとうございます。Thank you.